Now we have a tutorial on splitting, and splitting is different from layering. Layering is, as you saw in the last few days, when we could press a key and we could hear 2, 3 or 4 different sounds at once. Splitting is where we designate sections of the keyboard to a particular sound. So if I wanted to have a acoustic bass in the left hand and a piano on the right hand, that's basically what splitting is. And we're going to have a look at that. Roland makes it quite easy to split the keyboard in half. But then if you want to add different sections, 3 or 4 different sections on the keyboard, it's a little bit more tricky. So we're going to have a look at that now. Okay, so I don't know, you imagine you're in a jazz club or something. And you want to split up the layers of sound. So unlike layers where we press a key and we can hear 2, 3 or 4 sounds at the same time, we can actually designate sections of the keyboard to different sounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 different sounds going on independently. So depending where I press on the keyboard, I'm going to hear a particular sound. So the first thing you need to do is pick the sound you want in the top part, the right hand, let's say. I'm going to choose a vintage sounding electric piano. And now we need to pick the sound that goes in the bottom, and to do that we go to our split button over here. We're going to press that, hold it down, and then choose the other one. So I'm actually going to choose bass. So I'm going to press split, press bass, and then I should have my bass and my electric piano. Excuse my bad improvising, but that's how we do it. So now we have our 2 different sounds. What we can do is actually change the split point. So at the moment, if we just work it out. Okay, so F sharp, this F sharp here is basically where the split point is. If we want to move it lower, so say I wanted to actually be able to play the electric piano down here on the piano, if I hold down split, and I pick the last note that I want, in which case it's going to be this C here. So now my split point is at this C. So, and you can hear where the sound changes, and you can designate that split to be wherever you want. Now what we need to look at is how we have more than 2 different splits going on, and that's a bit more tricky, and that's not really something that you can do on the fly. To be able to do that, we actually need to go into something called live set edit mode. So this is this button over here. So if I just press that, and as you can see on our main screen here, we've got our live set edit menu. We're going to choose the top option, which says layer select. I'm just going to hit enter, and you can see the 2 instruments that we've picked so far. At the bottom we have our acoustic bass, at the top we have our electric piano. So what I want to do is I'm just going to choose some contrasting sounds. Let's have a harmonica. You can kind of hear that. At the moment everything's kind of been layered together, so we're going to work out the split points in a moment. I'm just going to pick something else. So much to choose from, that's the problem. Harp pad? No, I don't want a pad, do I? Jazz scat singing. Okay, so we can have that, a really kind of random mix here. So here we have our 4 sounds, and just like on layering, these can actually be controlled from over here. We're going to come to that in a moment, but what we're going to do now is move over to the next menu over here. So I'm going to press the right button, I'm going to press it again until we get to the 3rd screen here, and this actually lets you tell the piano which sections, where each instrument you want it to begin and when you want it to end. So I'm going to start with the bottom because it's most easy. So that's where our bass is. Okay. If you look at the middle column, we have A0. Okay, and that's basically where it's going to begin. Let's say I want the split point to go up to this G sharp over here. I'm going to move to the right hand column here, press my G sharp, and it's going to tell me that that split will now occur at G sharp 2. Let's do the same up here. So I'm now going to pick A2, for, what was that? I think that was a scat singing, wasn't it? And then I was going to end on this G sharp up here, G sharp 4, okay? And then we're going to do the same for our, I can't even remember what instruments I've picked. Yeah, I think that's the harmonica. So we're going to start with A4 here, and I'm going to want that to end on G sharp here. Okay, G sharp 5. And then for our top layer, which is our electric piano, I'm going to start it on A5, and it's already on C8, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So now our split points. That's where our split points are now occurring, so you can hear that really, really clearly. So there's our 4 different layers. Now the trouble is, if I'm playing a gig, you know, I like my electric piano sound, but actually what I want is it for it not to be so high. If we have a look at this first column here, we can actually transpose it. It transposes it in semitones. So at the moment I've got this C, which sounds a bit high. If I take it down 12 semitones, which is an octave, I can take it down an octave, or I'll take it to 24, which is down another octave. There you go, and that's how we got our 4 splits. What you can do is you can save it as a live set, so you don't actually have to do that every time you want to set up these sounds. The best situation, because you can't do this in the middle of a show, is that you actually create your sound sets that you want before a gig, and you save them as live sets. We're going to do live sets in another video later on. But that's basically how you do it. And just back over here, just to remind you that actually you can still turn off sections, so that's now silent, and I can increase the volume, so let's make the harmonica louder, really loud scat singing, and a really quiet piano. And that's basically how you split sounds across a keyboard. Okay, I hope you found that useful. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. Check out the other tutorial videos if you want to as well. And the next video, we're going to be looking at how to record onto a USB straight from the Roland piano, which is a really, really awesome feature.